video, I will guide you through essential topics to focus and prepare for your upcoming final. So let's break this down in what we need to know. So the first thing, our final will be modules 4 through 7. There's going to be 75 questions. And let's see. So for each of these chapters, it would be chapters 24 to 25, 33 to 34, chapters 29 to 32, chapters 38 and 39, and then chapters 22 to 23, and 26 to 27, okay? And this would all be the chapters for the modules 4, 5, 6, and 7. So module 4, so these are the disorders of the musculoskeletal system. So osteoarthritis, so what this is pretty much that wear and tear of the joints that ends up leading to pain and stiffness. Osteoporosis, this is weak bones that break easily. Gout, so it's painful swelling in joints caused by uric acid crystals. We have degenerative disc disease. So this is more of where the spinal discs, they wear out, they cause that back pain. Rheumatology, so this is a study of joints and muscles, muscle disease. Osteopenia, so this is where, so that penia, this osteobone, so bones are weakening than normal, but not as bad as osteoporosis, okay? Infection, so some of this would be the germs that inflame the bones, the joints, and other nearby tissues. And then we have Lyme disease. So this is caused by a tick bite that can cause joint pain and other symptoms. So this will be multiple choice, all multiple choice questions as well. Module 5, so we have disorders of the digestive system. The pancreatitis, so this would be swelling in the pancreas. This is often by gallstones or drinking too much alcohol, okay? Hernia, so this is an organ, so pretty much we have our stomach that pushes up through that weak spot of muscle, so this could be in the stomach. The hiatal hernia will go in a little bit in depth in all those different parts of different hernias or where you can get them. The peptic ulcer disease, so this would be more of the stomach or intestines sores, so these are caused by bacteria or pain medicine. H. pylori. H. pylori is a bug that essentially causes stomach problems, okay? There's a lot more with H. pylori, by the way, and we'll discuss this more in depth. This is just more of a little what you need to know, just like a little subheading for it, okay? Celiac disease, so this is more that you can't eat gluten, so it ends up damaging the gut if you do. Gastroenteritis, so stomach bug that pretty much just causes diarrhea and vomiting. Diverculitis, so this would be infected pouches in the colon. Gallstones, this would be stones. So it's pretty much stones blocking bile flow. So they're constricting that part. So this causes that pain. Crohn's disease, ongoing swelling in the gut. Hepatitis, so this would be swelling from the liver, from viruses or toxins. We have the two different digestive terms that you guys already have learned in AMP1, AMP2, kind of all through this program. So make sure you know peristalsis, so this is how the food moves, how it moves, and dyspnea, so this would be upset stomach. Some other diet tips would be, so I guess for these particular questions would be to how would you adjust to help with these symptoms? So you know, making sure your patient is eating a low fiber for colon problems. So these are a little bit more on for the digestive. They're going to be here's some more. Sorry, give me. This is the next part. So making sure you know what are the symptoms that your patient is feeling, and then what kind of problems they're experiencing and what you can do for that. again, these questions are going to be multiple, some of them are going to be multiple choice as well. There's going to be one question, and that is a true or false. Okay. Alrighty, so the next part, module 6, so disorders of the endocrine and nervous system. So the first one is diabetes insipidus. So your patient is going to be going to the restroom a lot because their hormones are pretty much messing up. Okay, so excessive thirst. So it's poly. So remember, poly is a lot. So polyuria, or urea. Diabetes mellitus. So there's two different types that you need to know. Type 1, and you need to know that they are insulin dependent, so they need to have those insulin shots. And then type 2, this would be involve that insulin resistance. We have endocrine disorder, so this would include hypo. So hypo is low, hypothyroidism. So low thyroid, and then hyper. So remember, hyper, you're higher. So hyperthyroidism would be the high thyroid. And then Addison's disease. So this would be the weakens of those adrenal glands. Strokes in TIs, so brain flow pretty much just stops. This causes problems like weakness and confusion. The cerebellum, so making sure you know those functions. So cerebellum, the brain part, pretty much helps with the balance and the movements. We learned about that in EMP1. Big stroke, so that TAC affects a larger part of the brain. Brain disorders, so make sure you know epilepsy, Parkinson's, MS. A few key terms to know: aphasia, so you can't talk well; ataxia, so there's trouble walking. There is paresthesia, so you have that tingling feeling. And here's a couple little memory tricks. Ataxia, so think of taxis, you are going somewhere. So A is, that root words that we did. So A is without. So you don't have a taxi, or so you're not able to go anywhere. So you have trouble walking. And this is also multiple choice. And then we have module 7. So this would be disorders of the urinary and reproductive system. So they'll have, so we have menstrual problems. So we have keywords here that you need to know. Amenorrhea, this means missed periods, okay? Dysmenorrhea would be painful periods. And menorrhea, this would be heavy periods, okay? So make sure you know all of those. The renal disorders or kidney problems would be sudden and ongoing kidney failure. Reproductive disorders, so make sure you know PCOS, which is that hormonal imbalance. Endometriosis, that uterine tissue grows that in wrong places. Make sure you know incontinence, so trouble controlling the bladder. Important terms would be the nephrons, or nephron, again, it's that kidney filter. We learned about this in EMP2, so it's that little part that it's pretty much just filtering through our kidneys. Creatinine clearance, so this is a kidney health test. And then make sure you know your lab test, so checking the blood, the urinalysis, BUN, creatinine, making sure that everything is good for that good renal health, pretty much. And these questions would be multiple choice and then true or false. Okay, so there's 2 true or false, and then the rest are going to be multiple choice. Okay. All right. So for the muscle disorders, this is more breakdown on what to study. So osteoarthritis, there's going to be 3 questions. Osteoporosis, there's going to be 3 questions. Gout, 1. Degenerative disc disease, there's going to be 2. Rheumatology, 3. Osteopenia, 1 question. Infectious process would be 2 questions. Lyme disease, 2 questions. So these are pretty much how each one of these are going to be broken down. Then there's going to be 17 of these here. And then we have the same over here on this side. So this would be for module 5. There's going to be 17 questions, and you can kind of see here is module 6. There's going to be a total of 19 questions coming out of module 6. And then for module 7, there's going to be 22 questions, and out of these 22, there are going to be multiple choice, and then 2 are going to be true or false, okay? And then for our grand total of 75 questions, okay? So I will be posting the PowerPoints with highlighted information on what to kind of study, and then we'll be going over in class, and I'll be posting a couple more videos on how to study for these questions, or what kind of questions you guys will be kind of experiencing. So a lot of these questions are going to be situational based. So making sure that you know how to answer those questions. So I know for the midterm, a lot of the things that we discussed this last class was that there's 2 questions that were relatively similar, so it's sometimes very confusing, but being confident in knowing that you know this material and knowing that your first answer choice typically is usually the right answer. And we'll be going over a couple more testing techniques. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to